I'm getting a lot accomplished here. Okay, so no abolishment of student debt. The Green Party is promising abolishment of student debt, so that's another restriction to the free college. Only 83% are getting free college, so good for 83% of the country. Also good for, just to envision, that's how the social caste actually breaks down. But that's the abolishment, no abolishment of student debt. So even if we had free college for everybody else coming up, everybody else, I've racked $100,000 worth of debt. Norway pays you to stay there and to study. That sounds like a better country to me to live in. And Germany offers free college, not to pay me. I think Norway or other Scandinavian country, not Sweden. There's Norway, and then there's that other one. Sweden, Norway, and... But it's either Norway or that other country. But they pay you. They pay you to study there because they actually want educated people, scientists, engineers, doctors. They want people doing well, successful, understanding, being aware. They actually care about the people's education, which, you know, at one time we did too. That's why we got public schools. And look at it. Public schools are a fucking institution. Are they not? But they are government schools, and they're agents to teach oppression. They don't care about the community. They care about themselves. So if anything, it almost seems like it's exacerbating some of the bad qualities that pure capitalism brings out. There was no Employee Free Choice Act. The unions are on the ropes. That's one of the biggest fucking problems, is that we're not organizing. We have no, you know, we don't have bowling leagues. We don't have, what the fuck do we do, church? Like gyms. Gyms seems like they're the only social things adults do. I don't know, go with the kids shit, like go to their games and shit like that. But actually going to a democratic convention, you know what I mean? Like a convention for democracy where you're required to vote or pass bills or try to, you know, get the body to, I move the body to, you know, kick fucking Joe Blow out of this fucking city forever. Nothing about the Patriot Act because he was in favor of the Patriot Act, in favor of the war, in favor of NDAA. No, the NSA wiretaps on our phones and emails will be consolidated into institutional policy, just like the drone strike program, just like the global war on terror. This has been 3 fucking presidents. We've had a global war on terror, and we're about to pass the baton and say, now it's the institution. We are a bloody war machine, and that's just how it is. Hillary Clinton guarantees that. So that's another, that's, you know, when I say that you see the limits of the where this country should be. So Donald Trump himself looks at himself as a conservative. He looks at himself as a conservative, but when he looks around the country, he sees a lot of crazy shit. And so he comes across as a liberal because the conservatives, what we've seen the Republicans talk about and speak about for so many years, they're off the fucking charts. So Donald Trump comes across as this reasonable billionaire who just sort of, you know, he don't care about making money anymore, just wants to be fucking president and sort of, you know, make America great again in his vision, do what he wants. And I think that the way he talks, I can trust him more. So, again, I go back and forth. So I guess you'll have to ask me on that fucking day what the fuck I believe. So when it comes to policies, I can't say one is better than the other when it comes to their force of will, because those are the two things, which policies are better and then which one can get the policies implemented. Well, I think that Trump will have more issues of getting his shit implemented. If he's this big of a bumbling idiot, he will only be in there for 4 years, and then we'll get Bernie Sanders. We'll get some other progressive that will actually go in there because people will be sick of Trump. But Trump is very liberal because, in fact, he's like a Nixon liberal. Nixon would be viewed as a liberal, as a fucking socialist today, by today's standards, because the Republican Party is just so off the charts. So the Democratic Party, Bernie Sanders is the heart of the Democratic Party because he spoke his mind, he spoke the truth. But I would say Jill Stein is probably the heart of the Democratic Party now. She's the one speaking the truth. She's the outsider. She has no reason not to speak the truth. She's not going to sell us out. She's not going to make political deals and then just corral us into her, you know. She's a green, so yeah, she wants more greens, but that's more outsiders, more hippies, more liberals. So aside from marijuana, nothing was mentioned about the war on drugs, so this is a big issue too. The war on drugs has fucking failed abysmally. It's embarrassing. Abysmal failure. And so if they don't mention anything, you know, Edward Snowden is still going to be an enemy of the state. Jill Stein said that she would give Edward Snowden a full pardon. So again, you know, that she's right on this issue. They don't mention any of this stuff. All this is going to be institutionalized. She's the elite. She's been the elite forever. So a lot of fucking Democrats are being very conservative with Hillary, thinking that she's going to be successful. But Trump thinks he could take New York, one, because it's his own state, but two, because he has New York values. Fucking Ted Cruz is right. He is more socially liberal in a lot of fucking things. I think he's okay with gay people. He's okay with gay rights. He said it at the fucking National Convention. Again, a Republican who's in favor of gay rights. He thought he was going to get booed when he said that line. So he's the most pro-gay Republican out there. How many more liberal things does Donald Trump actually have to be for? You know, like, it's weird when I think about the heart of Donald Trump. I think his heart is more liberal, more progressive. I'm hoping, so maybe I'm projecting and putting myself on him. But when it comes to Hillary Clinton, I don't think her heart is a progressive. I think it's more of a corporatist. It's more of a you know, wheeling and dealing, triangulating, power hungry, do whatever it takes in order to, you know, become queen. Break any kneecaps you got to break in order to become queen. And that's not promising. I'm not promised by that. Major losses that we've seen. I've already mentioned all these, but I'll say them again. So, you know, free college, legal weed, second Glass-Steagall Act isn't 100%. It's not guaranteed. Just minimum wage. Only fucking minimum wage is the only guarantee the Democratic platform gives me any confidence about, the minimum wage. So not enough poverty initiatives, nothing about the war on poverty, no declaration of the war on poverty, nothing about 1971 Nixonian, the war on drugs. So not enough about the current war. It sounds like she is going to go to Syria. She's going to intervene in Syria. She voted that down too. So many issues aren't addressed in the Democratic platform. The biggest issues, the TPP, she's going to flip-flop on the TPP. She's a neoliberal corporatist. Of course she'll flip-flop on the TPP. She said it's the gold standard of trade agreements. She lobbied for it 45 times. So Hillary's delegates refused to put an anti-TPP language into the platform because she's in favor of it. TPP, like NAFTA, like her husband did, she's going to pass. She's going to pass TPP and probably welfare reform and the crime bill. These are all triangulated Democratic propositions. They were triangulated. So the crime bill, Bill Clinton didn't want the Republicans to say that he was not tough on crime. So he fucked a lot of poor people's lives up just so they couldn't call him soft on crime. So he triangulated on that. He did something that he probably didn't think was morally right, but just because he wanted to be elected, the politics, the political reality. So, okay, Bill, I can actually forgive you for, you know, you worked. You triangulated and it fucking worked. It won't work to get my vote. It worked for America's vote, and it could work again. I'm kind of hoping for you. I mean, when it comes to social spending and having a heart and being good and decent, I'm hoping your democratic values is actually there. But that's it. I'm hoping for it. I am hoping that they actually are Democrats, that they're actually bleeding heart liberals, that they give a shit and that they care about people. I'm hoping for that. A shocking, remarkable rejection by the Hillary Rodham Clinton delegates was no Medicare for all. So, again, Trump seems to be in favor of Canada's single-payer health care system, even though he'd probably call it something else. But Democrats, especially the mother of American health care debate, isn't. What the fuck is going on here? Social Security, they reversed language from expanding Social Security to merely protecting Social Security. So they're not even going to expand. They're not going to put more money into Social Security. We're cutting it. We're getting rid of it. We're going to privatize Social Security. That's the fucking... You know, they're not saying all that, but they're saying they're not expanding it. So they're either cutting it, keeping it the same, or privatizing it, right? Those are the only three options. So the only good one out of those three options is doing nothing. So hopefully they're going to do nothing to Social Security. I don't believe them. Foreign policy, she loves Henry Kissinger, so we're going to have a Kissinger-esque empire. We're not going to end the 15-year global war on terror. It wasn't mentioned. She's a war hawk, just like John Kerry was, just like I don't know if Al Gore was, but John Kerry definitely was. And because she's a woman, I think she has to go above and beyond the call of duty. I think she has to be like twice as strong to show that she could do the job. So I think her twice as being strong. I'm against any fascists that want to go to war, but I think men, want to do it.